Okay, so if no question, I just want to go over a little bit about the in-class activity we do last week here. So one of the activity require you to understand the logic of mainline logic, right? The mainline logic here. So basically, for the mainline logic, you have the three steps. You have to pay attention for three steps here, right? The first one, you have to initialize the loop control variable before entering the loop, right? And now we have to test the value of the loop control variable. And if the condition is correct, you just go to the body of the loop and keep doing it here. And in the body of the loop, right, you must have the action to modify the loop control variable within the loop, right? In order to move to the next iteration or in order to exit the loop here, right? So basically for my very simple program here, for my very simple program here, right? So this program keeps asking user enter the number, and every time if the user enter a number, the program will print it out the double of this number here, and keep doing it until the user enters the number 0, right? So you see in my program here, I also have the three steps here. The first one, I initialize it. So what is it? I need to get the first number here, right? I do it before I enter the loop, right? I get the first number here. Now the second one here, I check the condition here. I test the value here, right? So if the y's number is not equal to 0, I keep doing it here, right? So I have to go to the body of the loop here. Here, everything here is the body of the loop, right? So in the body of the loop, I figure it out what is the answer here. By double the number, I print it out the number here, right? Now, the third step here, I need to modify the loop control variable here within the loop to eventually satisfy the condition that cause the loop end, right? That's why I see I need to get the new value here, right? So when I get the new value, you know the loop, right? You go back to check the condition here, and if the number is not equal to 0, I keep doing it. But whenever user enters the number 0 here, when I go back to check the condition here, this one is not correct. Exit the loop, right? That's the exit program. So basically for the assignment here, I give you some of the assignment, right? So basically, I require you to understand the concept of the mainline logic concept. The concept is the same, right? You have the three steps here. You have to initialize the loop control variable. You test the condition here and you modify the loop control variable here. So for the first one, right? The first one here, this process keep doing it for multiple agents. The first step, you look into the instruction here, right? Keep doing it for multiple agents here, and for each of the agent, enter the ID number, the name of agent, right, and enter the number of room here, and in order to figure out the commission rate here, commission, right? And you keep doing it for multiple employees. So that is mainline logic. You keep doing it and keep doing it here, right? And you see, when you stop it here, the output will say output here, and when you could keep doing it whenever you enter the number 999 here, right? Because you have the quit here. So here I want you to focus on the mainline logic. So basically, whenever you want to analyze for the mainline logic here, the first step you have to identify which it is variable that controls the loop. Right? So in order to answer the question here, which is variable to control the loop here, you look in the while loop here. Right? You look in the while loop here, you see. You look in the while loop here. So I know that the salesperson ID here is the one who controls the loop here. That means I keep doing it until when user enter 9999 here. Right? That's the first step in order to analyze it, in order to debug for your program here. That's the first thing. The second thing here, I have to say the question here. If the variable that controls the loop initialize correctly or not, right? So if you look on from the start here, you see, I have the salesperson here, I just have the declaration here. I only have the declaration, but I have not initialized yet. Nothing here, nothing here, nothing here. So I guess here, it may be called in the getSDEV module. You know that when you call for getSDEV module, you jump into the getSDEV module, right? So basically, you have to look into the getSDEV module here, and you see what the program do with the getSDEV. You can scroll it up. You see that's the process. You get the sales person ID here, right? But anyway, for this one also, you have the one mistake here. basically for this one, you need to put the input here, not the output, right? Because this one is a prompt. You tell user enter the salesperson ID, and you need to store into the variable salesperson ID here. So basically, this is input, not the output, right? So the first question here, right, is the first question. I can answer the first question here. The first question here I can see that which is a variable the control loop. I look at the while loop here. I look at the while loop. So I know the salesperson ID is the one who controls the loop here, right? So the salesperson ID is the one who controls the loop here. It's not, it is initialized correctly or not? Not really, actually not really, right? You need to put its input here, right? So it's here is the loop, not here. Actually, you need to put it here, output here. Output here is a prompt, right? Output here is a prompt. And the sale person ID, person ID. The quit, right? Yeah, or quit here, right? So basically, you just copy this one here, right? So basically, I need to, okay, I need to put it. I don't want to write it. So use this one, you have to copy it here, and you have to modify this one, right? Actually, not here. So we have to modify it by the prompt here. And also after that, you need to store into the input here, right? Input here. And you store in the variable name. It is a salesperson ID here. Okay, that's the second one. Now the third one here. The third one, right? The third one is a step of the mainline logic here. You know that you need to modify the variable that controls the loop here in order to access the loop here, right? So now, in order to look into the mainline logic here, in order to look into the mainline logic program, you see, that is data loop here, right? Because you see, when you get ID here, you check the condition here. If the salesperson ID is not 9999, you go to the detail of the loop, right? So we have to look in the detail of the loop here. You have scroll it down, you look into the detail of the loop, you do everything, the name, you do the everything processing here. But remember, you have to pay focus at the end of the body of the loop here, right? Do you have the action to get the new person ID or not? No, for this one, no, right? You see, I don't have any action to get a new person ID here. That is the only step. I printed out the salesperson ID, salesperson name, and commission of that employee. If I want to move on to next employee here, I need to get a new, right? So basically here, basically for this one here also, right? Basically for this one also, you need to the action here. You need to get action here. You need to get it updated by the prompt, and also you need to store into the person ID here. At the end of the loop, right? So basically, you have to copy the action here. You have to copy this action here, and the input cell person ID here. You put it before the return here. Make sense? You guys got it? Okay. So that is a mainline logic. That remember about every program is a mainline logic here. You always have the three steps. You have to initialize the loop control variable before you enter the loop. You have the test condition here, and in the body of the loop, normally at the end, you only have the action to get a new value for the variable that controls the loop here, right? And otherwise you have to end this loop here. I showed you already with the Python already, right? In the last class. So that is first one. Now for the second one also, right? For the second one also, the process here is quite the same. The process here, right? You just figure out the rent for the car here. So the process here keep doing it for multiple car. Keep doing for multiple car, right? So again, if you look in the variable who controls loop here, you look in the Y here, right? So the car type here is the one who controls loop, right? The car type here is a variable that controls loop here. So I write here, right? The car type. I have looked at exactly the same with what here, the car type here, right? In the loop here, the car type. So now you see, the car type here is not initialized yet, it's a declaration yet, right? So I make a guess, it might be from the get.d here. So I have to look in the get.d. What I do with the get.d here, input, enter the car type, quiz, or quiz here, that is the prompt, right? And if you want to store it, you use the input here, but anyway, you have the inconsistent variable here. Actually, you have the car type here, not car, right? So basically, this one also is not correct here. So the first one, right? The car type here, no, right? Actually, you have to store into the input with the variable name car type here, not the car, right? Car type here. This one also. Car type here, right? Now, you see that is the body of the loop, right? You call for the detail loop here. You look in the body of the loop here, right? You look in the body of the loop. That is everything about the processing here. Right now, I don't want you to check every step here. But at the end, you see, at the end here, you only have the action to get the new car type here in order to go back to the loop and check it again here, right? So this one, the third step here is correct, right? The third step here is correct already. This one here, right? Because you only get the new car type here in the body of the loop here, right? So now for the problem number 3 here. For the problem number 3 here, actually you have the two loop, right? You have the two loop here. The outer loop here, the outer loop, you see, what is the variable that controls the loop here? For the outer loop, what do you think? Name, right? Because that is you see, if you look into the flow chart here, the diamond, it is the one who check for the condition, yeah, right? So the name here, it is the variable that controls the loop here, right? So see, it keep doing it if name is not here, right? So now the outer loop here, right? So the name is the one who controls the loop here. Now the second one, if the name initialized or not, right? I don't see it in the declaration here. So I make a guess here, right? It might be in the housekeeping. So what I do with the housekeeping, actually, I got the input name here. So correctly, right? That's the correctly for the name here, right? That's the correct. Now for the third here, you see, when you call for the detail loop here, you have to look in the detail loop here, right? Everything in the detail loop here. You see, if I look into everything in the detail loop here, do you think I have the action to get a new value for the name here in the detail loop? Do I have? No, right? Because you see, at the end here, I don't have any action to get a new name, right? If I don't get an action to get a new name, the name stays the same and it do it forever, right? So the third one here, no, right? Actually, I need to get the new name here by the action here. I have to copy it and paste it here, right? I need the prompt. Please enter the name of quiz to quiz, and I need to get a new name with the input name here, right? And that is for the outer loop. For the inner loop also. If you look in the inner loop here, right? So for each student, right, you keep doing it for multiple score here, until the quiz score is 0 here, right? Okay. So now score here is the one who that's controls the loop, right? And now you answer my question here. That score here is the one who controls the loop here. Now the score here, initialize or not? Score here initialize or not? What do you think? Yes, before the loop here, right? And got the score here. So yes, the score here initialize correctly. Right? Now the third one, in the body of the loop here, do we have action to get the new score? To get the new score, do you have action to change the value of new score? No, because you see, that is the action of the loop here, right? Everything here is action of the loop, and you see, I don't have action to get new score here. So basically, I need to copy this process here and I paste it here to get the new score here. Make sense? Okay, so that's the mainline logic here. So remember, if you do not understand the concept of the mainline logic here, I strongly recommend you go over to the slide again. Right? I have the 3 steps in the mainline logic here. I need to initialize before entering the loop. I need to test the condition here, and if the condition true, I go to the body of the loop. And in the body of the loop here, I only have action to change the value of the variables that go to the loop here. Right? So if you look on this very simple logic here, I need to initialize before the loop, before the y here, right? That's what I did. Now that's the condition here. I check with the condition y here, right? And the third one here, in the body of the loop, I need to get the new value here. If I miss any one of them, I got the syntax error. Right? That is a simple logic for the mainline logic here. So we can apply the same with all the problem I get into it. All the problem. That is the big picture here, right? You have to think about the big picture for every program here. Right? Okay, for the first one here. You see, for the first one, if you want to identify which one is the control loop, you look into the main program here. You look in the main program and you look in the Y. And this one is the one who controls the loop. Right? And I need to identify if the salesperson here initialize or not. I look it up into the module get that here. Right? And I say if I want to tell it in the body of the loop here, I have action to change the value of the salesperson ID here. I have to look into the detail loop. And you see in the detail loop here, everything about the detail loop here. I do not have action to get the new person ID. Right? Any question, guys? Let me know. Any question? Any question from you? Let me know. No? I need you to turn on the camera, John, and show up the face here. Otherwise, any in-class activity, I will not give you grade here. Yes, so see that on Zoom here, but not actively engaged. So no question from this one, right? Okay.